Hello friends, in this lecture we will see another method, that is big M method. So this method is basically the extension of simplex method. Okay, nothing new steps are there, some addition is there. Okay, so you have to follow the simplex method and some addition is there. Okay, so the calculation becomes little bit of lengthy. Okay, so I have already written a problem, and you can see the problem is of maximization, minimization. The problem is given of minimization. Okay, minimize z equals to 3x1 plus 4x2, and it is subjected to the constant, and the constant, you can see the constant is of greater than or equals to type. Early we have seen maximization problem and the constant were less than equal to type. Okay, so little bit different problem I have taken. Okay, you can solve maximization problem also with the help of big M method. Okay, but we will try to solve it. Okay, we will try to solve it, because if suppose the situation arises, then what are the steps? Okay, what are the steps? So first we have to follow the same step, that we have to convert them into the standard form. We have to convert them into the standard form. So the standard form is going to be, 2x1 plus, here I am going to write, we can convert them into a standard form. The standard form is going to be 2x1 plus 3x2, and you are going to see here, this is greater than equals to 8. Okay, this is greater than equals to 8. In the last case it was less than equals to, so you were adding something. Now this is greater than, it means you have to subtract something. You have to subtract something. So it is minus s1 equals to 8. Okay, minus s1 equals to 8, and the second constant is 5x1 plus 2x2. Now what you have to do, you have to subtract a variable. Okay, minus s2 equals to, this is 12. Okay, this is 12. Now what you have to do, this s1 and s2, this s1 and s2, this s1 and s2, this s1 and s2 are known as surplus variable. These are known as surplus variables, or negative, or simply negative slack variables. Okay, since the coefficient s1 and s2 were the slack variables, but the coefficient here is minus. Okay, the coefficient here is minus, so these are also known as negative slack variables, or simply surplus variables. Now you have to write the objective function also. Okay, so what we are going to do, early we have studied the maximization problem. Okay, so we are going to convert this minimization into maximization problem, because we already know the steps of maximization problem, so everything will not change. Okay, so just we are going to write it, maximize z. Okay, maximize z. Since for minimization it is z, so maximization it is going to be minus z. Okay, and here it is minus, so here also it is minus 3x1 and minus 4x2, and this one minus 0s1 minus 0s2, you can write. Okay, if the question is of maximization, suppose the question is given is minimization, suppose the question is of maximization, then simply do this thing. Okay, simply do this thing, no need to write this minus z. Since it is of minimization, we are going to convert it into maximization, so it is minus 3x1 minus 4x2 minus 0s1 and minus 0s2. You have to do. Okay, you have to do these things. Okay, and there is no any, if you are going to write it plus or minus, okay, then it is not going to affect the answer, because it is 0. Okay, it is 0, whether positive or negative, so it let it be positive. But here minus, here you are putting minus, so x also minus and x2 also minus. So, and non-negative restrictions, what are those? s1, s2, x1, x2, these all are greater equals to 0. Okay, these all are greater equals to 0. Now form the table, same steps. Okay, same steps. This is x1, x2, s1 and s2, everything remains the same. just like simplex. Okay, just like simplex. Here we used to write the Cj. Okay, here we used to write the Cj. Okay, so what you are going to do? This will form your basis. This is going to form your basis, and you are going to write the coefficient of the constants. You are going to write the coefficient of the constant. For x1 it is 2, for x2 it is 3, for s1 it is -1 because it is negative slack variable or surplus variable, and for s2 it is 0. Here you can see for x1 it is 5, for x2 it is 2, for s1 it is 0, and it is -1. Now the basic variable are going to make an identity matrix within the simplex table, you know it. Okay, but this is not an identity matrix. Minus is there, so this is not an identity matrix. It means you have to make the identity matrix, and since it is not the identity matrix, so s1 and s2 are not the basic variables, you can say. Since it is not an identity matrix, early we are going to make it identity matrix. The coefficient was plus, but it is not the identity matrix, so these are not the basic variable. It means we have to assume new basic variables. Okay, we have to assume new basic variables. So what we are going to do, we are going to assume new basic variables a1 and a2. Okay, a1 and a2. So add here a1 and a2. So it is plus a1 and it is plus a2. Okay, we have introduced new basic variables. Okay, we have introduced new basic variables so that it can make the identity matrix. Now right here it is going to be 1 0 and 0 1. So this is going to make an identity matrix. Okay, this is going to make an identity matrix, and a1 and a2 will be your basic variable. Okay, a1 and a2 will be your basic variables. Okay, so now I am writing the steps. Just write it. a1 and a2 are known as artificial variables. Okay, a1 and a2 are known as artificial variables. a1 and a2 are known as artificial variables. Okay, they are assumed to get the basic feasible solution. They are assumed to get the basic feasible solution, and they are not the part of, original problem. Okay, so you have to keep these things in mind, that a1 and a2, this a1 and a2 is your artificial variables, and they are only assumed to get the basic feasible solution. Okay, we are assuming it to make the identity matrix, otherwise we will not be able to form the basic variables. Okay, so to form the basic variable or to get the initial basic feasible solution, they have been assumed, they are not the part of the original problem. Okay, so since they are not the part of the original problem, so you can say that they will not participate in optimal solution. Okay, so just write this statement in your notebook. The artificial variable is not the part of the original problem, hence they will not participate in providing the optimal solution. They have been just assumed to provide the basic feasible solution. Okay, because it is not the identity matrix, so they have been just assumed. Okay, these are the artificial variables. So some modifications should be done in the objective function also. So what you have to do, just write here minus m a1 and minus m a2. Okay, the coefficient of, just remember it, the coefficient of artificial variables is minus m and minus m. Why it is minus m? Because it is of maximization type. Okay, if it is of minimization type, then it will be going to be plus m. Okay, so the m or minus m is just the coefficient of artificial variable, and this is the rule. Okay, this is the rule, that the coefficient of artificial variable is plus m or minus m. Minus m, why? Because we have assumed it maximization. We have converted the sign of z to minus z. That's why they are minus. If it is simply minimization, then what we will write? We will simply write m a1 and m a2. Okay, if it is of minimization type, then simply plus m and plus m, but here minus z we have converted, so it is minus m a1 and minus m a2. Okay, and what is m? M is the largest positive number. Okay, m is the largest positive number, or simply you can say it is infinity. Okay, m is the largest positive number, or simply you can say it is infinity. Now we will put the coefficient of this x1 and x2 from the table, from the objective function. So it is minus 3, it is minus 4, it is 0, 0, it is minus m, and it is minus m. Here we will write RHS, and here we will write theta. Okay, here we will write RHS. The first RHS is 8 and 12. 8 and 12. Okay, so everything has been completed. M is the largest positive number. It can be infinity. Okay, it can be infinity. And what is a1, a2? They are the artificial variables. Okay, so what we have to do? We have to calculate Cj minus Zj. Okay, we have to calculate Cj minus Zj. Okay, so how to calculate Cj minus Zj? And what is the coefficient of a1 and a2? The coefficient of a1 and a2 is minus m, and here also what? Minus m. This minus m and minus m. Okay, so coefficient of what is? It is going to be minus 3 and minus 2m and minus 5m. So it is going to be minus 7m. So it is going to be 7m minus 3. Okay, 7 and minus 3. And this one, what is the next value? The next value is going to be minus 4 minus 3m minus 2m. So it is going to be 5m minus 4. So it is going to be 5m minus 4. What is the S1 and S2? It is going to be 0 minus m. So it is going to be minus m. This also minus m, and this a1 and a2 are 0. Why? Because they are the basic variable. So the value of basic variable will be always 0 in the objective function row. Okay. Now you have to look for the largest positive value. Okay. So since here, why we have, look, we have assumed m to be the largest positive value and it is infinity, but we have directly not put the value of infinity, because if you will put infinity, then it is also infinity, it is also infinity, and you will not be able to find the incoming variable. Okay, you will not be able to find the incoming variable. That's why we have not directly put the value of m as infinity. Okay, so this is going to be your incoming variable because it is 7m, so it is more positive. So this one is key column. Okay, so find the theta. Theta is going to be 4 and it is going to be 12 by 5. So this is going to be your outgoing variable. So this is going to be your key row, and this 5 is going to be your pivot element. This 5 is going to be your pivot element. Everything remains the same, only new thing is m, largest positive value. So what we will do now, x1 will come and a2 will go out. So a1 and x1, a2 will be going out. It will be the outgoing variable. It will be the outgoing variable. Now once the artificial variable has left the table, once the artificial variable has left the table or left the basis, it is not going to come back in the basis. Okay, so you can write it. It is one of the objective question. Okay, you can write it. Once the artificial variable has left the table, once the artificial variable has left the table, it will not come back again. It will not come back again. So delete its column. Okay, since the artificial variable has left the table, it is not going to come back again, so you can delete the table of A2. Okay, just going to delete the table of A2. It is one of the objective question of ESE. Okay, so just remember it. The artificial variable once left will not return, so you can just delete. So what you are going to do, you are going to just divide the 5 with each and every element. So 5 by 5, it is going to be 1, it is going to be 2 by 5, it is going to be 0, minus 1 by 5, it is going to be 0. No need to calculate, it is going to be 12 by 5. Now we have to form the identity matrix. Okay, these are the basic variables. So here it is a1 and x1. For x1 it is 1 and for a1 it is 0. So here is 1 and 0. So you will get 0 and 1. Okay, the basic variable will make an identity matrix. Okay, the basic variable will make an identity matrix. Now calculate 2 minus 1. This old minus new, it is not going to be 0. So what you have to do, you have to multiply it with 2 and now do the mathematical operation. Just multiply with 2. Okay, so now you are going to get 2 minus 2 0, and this is going to be 3 minus 4 by 5. So it is going to be 15. It is going to be 11 by 5. Okay, this is going to be minus 1. This is going to be 0 minus 2 by 5. So it is going to be 2 by 5, and this one is going to be 8 minus 24 by 5. So it is going to be 40 minus 24 by 5. So it will be 16 by 5. Okay, just remove this into 2. Okay, we have just done it to operate for the mathematical operations. Okay, now just calculate Cj minus Zj. Just calculate Cj minus Zj, and here we have to put the coefficient. The coefficient of a1 is minus a, and the x is minus 3. Okay, so just you have to calculate the Cj minus Zj value. So here this will be 0, and this is going to be plus 3. This is going to be plus 3, minus 3. So minus 3 and minus of minus 3, it is going to be 0, simply 0, because x1 is in the basis. So it is going to form the basic variables. Now this one minus 11m and 6m. Okay, no need to write something. Okay, because 11 by 5 is largest, so it will be our incoming. Okay, it will be our incoming. So this is going to be the incoming column. Okay, now divide the value, divide the RHS value with the coefficient. 16 by 5 upon 11 by 5. This is going to be 16 by 11. Okay, and 12 by 5 upon 2 by 5. This is going to be 6. So this is going to be the outgoing. Okay, outgoing. So this is our key row, and this 11 by 5 is our pivot element. So now what we have to do, look, now a1 is outgoing and incoming is x2. So x2 and x1 you can write, x2 and x1 you can write. Okay, x2 and x1 you can write. Look, the steps are little bit lengthy, but you have to do it. Now divide. You can put here values. This is minus 4, this is minus 3. So this is going to be 0, this is going to be 1, and this is going to be minus 5 by 11. 11 by 2 by 5 upon 11 by 5. It is going to be 2 by 11, and it is going to be 5 by 11. It is going to be 16 by 5 upon 11 by 5. This is going to be 16 by 11. Okay, so we can see that optimality has been achieved. You can say that Cj minus Zj is either less than equals to 0 or 0. So optimality is achieved. Optimality is achieved. Okay, and what is the value of minus Z? Minus Z is minus 124 by 11, but you have been asked minimize Z. Okay, so it is the maximum value of minus Z. Okay, this minus 124 by 11 is the maximum value of minus Z, but you have been asked the value of Z. So Z is 124 by 11, and this is going to be the minimum value. Okay, because the original question is of minimization. Okay, this is the minimum value. And what is x1? X1 is going to be 20 by 11, and x2 is going to be 16 by 11. Okay, since the largest number is involved, okay, since the largest number is involved, that is m, so this method is known as big M method. Okay, only the name is different, otherwise the rest of steps are same. Okay, since m is involved, m is the largest number, so this method is known as big M method, and nothing to worry. Okay, just do the steps like this and calculate everything as you have calculated in the simplex table. Okay, so the steps are little bit lengthy, but you just do it yourself. Okay, so you will get to know everything. Okay, and why we do not have put the infinity? Because if you are going to put infinity, then you will not be able to identify. Okay, you will not be able to identify the maximum value or maximum positive value. And here also, if you are going to put infinity, okay, then the z is going to be infinity. Profit is infinity, it means nothing. Okay, or minus infinity, it means nothing. So we are not putting it directly infinity, we are replacing it with m. Okay, so it is all about big M method. Thank you.